phones react by storm visions. Inherited more reflects on the dance floor, blowing up and having mad people showing up. Packing crowds, jam-packed venues. Needles collapse while atmospheres continue. Sprinkle that, winning like that, moving like that, hitting like that. The melody is fat. Yo, I'm on the energy source, the cosmic boss with Prodigy, flipping astrology. My intellect's the power with diesel power. Blows your mind drastically, fantastically. 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 Wind spin back, rewind, diesel power. Blows your mind drastically, fantastically. It has to be automatically. Check it out, you gotta work it out. Change to another route. My technique, strategies, abilities, I leave chords and mics hanging like spring leaves. Do a try so fast beyond the human eye. Lyrical tactics, vocal gymnastics. You get swept up, smacked up, backed up. Your crew's all cracked up. Check it slow, pick, choose quick, you can't stick. My metaphor range is strangest angles. You get tangled, twisted side effects. Channels repeat, complete, can't compete. Check the hour texture, mind adventure, exploit the point. Enter tracks to devour. My intellects proceed with diesel power. Blows your mind drastically, fantastically. 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 Back attack the whack, packs you back to me. You don't want none.
It's a beach. I'm very familiar with them because I've cut a lot of beech hedges. There's beech hedges on the farm. This is also a beech. It's probably the parent of that one and all the others in this area. This is the most beautiful piece of forest I ride through on the way from my place to my folks, because, you know, deciduous woodland is just a lot more diverse, a lot more interesting than plantation. I think what I'm in here must have been an old railway cutting, or at least an old road, so I'm going to walk up there. I'm just cooling down a bit, it's quite hot today, so I'm just leaving that there. So I've been talking to Julie a lot, and I think it's been about 6 weeks since I visited France with the family and met up with Julie and Tour. And we've been planning. She lives in Lyon, which is quite far down. It's not that far from the French-Swiss border. So she's a long way down, but she's originally from Saint-Lô, which is in Normandy, right up near the top. It's only 50 miles south of what's it called? Which one? Cherbourg. So it's very easy for me to get the ferry. This is something we've organised to do in the middle of August, less than a month now. So obviously I'm looking forward to this thing, and she is too. Yeah, we're talking on Facebook quite a lot, and she said she was sending me a gift, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. She sent me things in the past. She sent me, I don't know, a birthday card or something, but this was a book, and I got it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a book she told me about that she read, and it was about an old German guy. He's a forester who looks after the forest, and he's learning about how the trees communicate with each other. They can communicate about threats, about predatory insects that are coming to eat them, and they can actually get their neighbours to respond ahead of time, so they're protected. They can share nutrients. They have electrical impulses travelling through their root systems. They can communicate. So I'm reading the book now. I'm maybe a couple of chapters in. It's fascinating, and she said it would be especially interesting for someone who spends a lot of time in the woods. But she also included something else in there. She included just a little note saying, you know, for my, what does it say, like, pour mon bel anglais, and then pour te comprendre something la forêt. So it's like to help you understand the forest better. Also, there were a few photographs in there. She's printed out. There was a picture of Frank Zappa with his hair in bunches that said, "Progress is not possible without deviation from the norm." There's a picture of her. She's been sailing in the middle of winter, and she had all this crazy outfit on to help you survive the seas in the sub-zero temperatures. And there was one of us, the pair of us, on the night we met over 10 years ago in a little town called Swanage. We're about 2 or 3 foot apart on a bench, and she's like drinking her drink like this. I'm smoking my cigarette like this. Why are you taking a picture of me, man? I remember it like it was yesterday. It's one of those, and I was smashed. Of course I was smashed. I was drinking moon juice that night. We all were. Look at this. It's another beach. A limb, a very long time ago, I would say, many years ago. It's cracked off there, and it's just fallen down, laying down there. But she put a caption on it, and the photo of us from a long time ago, and it was 10 years ago, 10 minutes after we met. Which at first it was like, this is really cute. This is really touching. I really liked the feeling it gave me. But then that's a dead bit. But after a little while, it started to sink in what was going on. I mean, I've been aware for some time that there's more than just one personality in here, or there is one personality, but it's made up of many different parts. And at that point there was this part of me. I think I've been watching a lot of Eckhart Tolle, right? And he talks about the ego a lot and the pain body, and the pain body is what I think psoriasis is, and it feeds on our emotional and our mental struggle. If you asked me and I told you straight, I'd say no, I want to heal. All I want to do is heal. I just want my body to be healthy. But there's something in me that disagrees with that statement very strongly, and it's maintaining this pain. And I've got a little bit on my knee and a little bit on my elbows, a little bit there, and it's the physical expression of the pain I'm experiencing. I've been learning about it, like I say, through watching Eckhart Tolle. He talks about it very clearly, very plainly. He calls it the pain body, and he calls it the ego. And this was the first time that I've actually spotted the bastard in action, because I was thinking about this thing. She sent me this lovely gift, and particularly this photo 10 years ago, 10 minutes after we met, and I thought, fuck, I've been in a relationship that I didn't even know about for 10 years, and as a self-confessed commitment phobe, that is a scary fucking thought. And I flipped. I don't know what it was. I mean, no, I do know exactly what it was. It was my ego thinking, no, I need my pain, I need my loneliness, it's part of my identity, it's part of who I am. And it was just like, we must stop this. I can't remember exactly what I said to her, but yeah, I can. I started trying to sabotage it. That's what I did. I started trying to sabotage it, and it was just like my last relationship. I won't go into it now, but I'm now running my default state, which is that I am in pain, and I'm lonely, and I'm alienated. That's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of my story, but it's only the story we tell ourselves, right? It's only the ego. If you write your name, what you think is your name, what it says in your birth certificate, your driver's license, whatever, write it on a piece of paper. First off the bat, that is not you. That is not what you are. And then write a list of everything you associate with that name. And what you've just written down is your ego. It's your identity. It's your false identity. It's not what you are. It's not who you are. The only way that I've been able to realise this, I think, is by spending a lot of time alone. And I don't know, things like meditating, which is basically just shutting down thinking. And thinking is the ego's playground. Thinking is what the ego does. It's how it defines itself. and you need to basically make the ego weaker. What happened to me a long time ago is something extremely stressful happened. Again, I'm not going to go into it, it's not really that relevant specifically what it was, but my ego went into overdrive, and this is what caused me all this stress, and caused it to manifest as a skin condition in my body. And I've been recovering from that ever since, but it's different now because I understand it differently, and I saw exactly what was happening. So almost as soon as I sent that message, I started puzzling it out. I was thinking, okay, what's really happening here? And she tried to send me a message, but she fucked it up somehow. But it meant that I returned to the woods with no internet for 24 hours, just thinking, what the fuck's going on? And all I was thinking in that period was, I've got to end this. I've got to sabotage this somehow, because it's only going to lead to pain in the long run. And I realised that I was enjoying it somehow, on some level anyway. And when she came back with her message, and she had time to make a more measured response, right? She didn't just come at me all emotional, like, what the fuck are you, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I realised that it's actually a beautiful thing that I've got this relationship with this woman who I've known now for, like I say, just over 10 years. The idea of a long distance relationship, she's probably like 1,000 miles away or something. Yeah, I think a long distance relationship could work, so I kind of started rationalising it to myself. I just managed to put the ego on hold for a little while and just come at it from a totally different angle. And I saw that she's exactly what I want. She could be exactly what I need, and this is how the universe works. You don't need to be lonely and thinking, the reason I'm lonely is because the perfect girl is out there somewhere among these millions of girls there are, but I'm never going to meet her because I'm just too fucked up. She's probably right there in your vicinity. She's probably right in front of you. It's how the universe works. For some people it's very straightforward, it's not a big deal at all. But this is just my thing, this is my hurdle that must be overcome. And it takes great courage to try and break the habit of a lifetime. This is what we're doing, we're getting to know ourselves, right? And the more you do that, the more you can move beyond the things that have barred your growth up until this point. That's what I'm doing now. So maybe in 5 weeks' time, I'm going to get on this bike right here, get on a boat, and go and see that French girl.